Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back again. This podcast is back. Tell a friend. So, fellas, here we go again. Another week of football, another week of good stuff. Lots to talk about, as always. The fastest half an hour in the podcasting biz. We got the usual crew looking to talk some football, a couple of things on the side here and there. And you know how we do stuff. If you're a fan of the podcast, you know how we roll. You know what we do. You know these guys are usually shit-faced by the end. You know what we're talking about. So, fellas, what in the wide world of sports is going on this week? What's new before we get rolling? Anything?
Oh,
Well,
yeah. Did y'all catch WWE Fastlane?
Oh, I saw the new tag team champs, and they brought back
was
Carlito.
epic, dude. They brought back Carlito, uh, Cody Rhodes, and Jey Uso, the undisputed champs. There was so much in it. It was epic.
And speaking of epic, I heard Tuesday night the WWE is loading up the NXT show to compete with the AEW Tuesday night show. So, I mean,
like.
a little taste of the Monday Night Wars for you people that never went through it.
Yep.
Little taste.
Monday
So-
Night War.
Yep. Before we get going with other sports, that NHL season's heating up this week. You know, we're back in the fold with that. That's my thing. And here we go. I'm already winding up. We're getting ready. Our Flyers. We're gonna have a good year. Here we go.
Let's go.
So let's start with what we usually do. One of our favorite segments. It's Ed's mailbag. Ed, take it away.
Ed's mailbag. Hey, here we go. Ed's email sponsored by Brock Street Brewery Company, Whitby, Ontario, Canada. Check out the flagship beers, the Blonde, and the 2 gold medal winning beers, the Irish Red and the Pilsner. You can also check out the Chocolate Malt, named best flavored beer in Canada in 2019. BrockStreetBrewing.com. Check them out. Don't forget their vodka sodas, hard seltzers, and their hard iced teas. All right, here we go. This is coming from Canada. We are coming from New Brunswick, okay? From St. Andrews, New Brunswick, Canada, from Neil. Neil, thanks a lot, brother. We love hockey around here. We're towing Brad along here on the hockey thing, but he's going to get it.
Along.
We're towing him along. He's going to get it. I mean, he grew up, below the Mason-Dixon line, but he's coming. So he's coming along. He gets it. All right. So this is a good one. Hello, 1973. I was wondering what your thoughts were of your knowledgeable group about the rules Canada made about athletes under 18 having a dress bottoms at home. Means no more nude locker rooms, even using a towel. I'm going to kick this one. First and foremost, I'm going to kick this to Andy because this is his favorite one. So I'm kicking it to Andy first.
So if I understand the email correctly, Hockey Canada, and don't be surprised if these other sports that involve a locker room, it usually involves hazing with it too. I can see where they're going with it. They passed a rule that if you're under the age of 18 and you use the locker room, you have to wear what would be your cup or whatever your under what would be your underwear for the game to the rink. No more walking around the locker room under the age of 18 with everything hanging out. So this is the new PC era. There's a lot of ways you can hit this as a coach, as a player. We've seen some unbelievable locker room things. I mean, the etiquette is all over the map. The shower seagull, as I like to call it. For you people don't know what a shower seagull is, it's the first guy to take a shower, and then they sit in the locker room bare ass, watch everybody else take a shower, and they're the last one to get dressed and leave. They'll sit there with the towel half on, over the shoulder, with a beer in the hand, talking to the guys, but get dressed, please. So, but we're talking more at the all kidding aside, at the kid level under the age of 18. So if you're a young female, if you're a young male, if you're an adolescent, no more wrapping the towel around your waist, dropping the drawers and then pulling the drawers up, totally covered the whole time. That's not going to fly anymore either. So I know Brad probably has a take on a football locker room because it's kind of almost the same thing. So hit it like that with that thought. Like, I know people's etiquette for changing in front of other people is all over the map. But I've always been a fan of just having some common courtesy. Nobody wants to see your hose hanging out and have a conversation like a normal person. Nobody's looking below the waist. But as far as the shower goes, I don't know how the shower is going to work because gonna get undressed somehow for a shower. So, it's once again the PC era. I don't think it's well thought out, but I can see why they did it. Brad, what do you think as a coach?
Man, I don't know. Like, I don't have a problem with it because I kind of side with you. Like, there's pros and cons to it. There's always that guy that wants to throw his leg up on the bench and talk to you for 30 minutes. And he wants to like throw the powder on his nuts right in front of you. I'm like, buddy, like you have the whole locker room to go do that. We don't have to have a conversation while you do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the first thing that came to mind was the whole debacle with the transgender swim athlete where he or she, whatever identifies as a female, was walking around the locker room bucket ass naked around a bunch of women. So I'm like, you're going to allow that in the Olympics, but same sex, men can't or boys it in the high school level or whatever can't walk around. Like, I don't know, man. They getting so PC that shit don't even make sense anymore, man.
Yeah, I don't think it's well thought out. And Tom and I have a great story about this guy we used to play hockey with that his underwear was so old, the BVDs, that the legs were blown out on him, that you could see like full package on the side. Like they didn't have any elasticity to the legs. It's like, and they were like tingy yellow and all that stuff. So I've seen it all. I got stories on top of stories. We could probably do a whole podcast just on locker room stories, especially with Ed. Ed is not a good locker room guy.
What?
Thoughts on that, Ed?
I don't know where I'm getting called on. I'm not a good locker room guy.
I wanted to feed it to you.
Yeah, no. I honestly though, I mean, from a kid's perspective, man, like there's been a lot of hazing in hockey and that type of thing. Andy, you can probably speak on this. Was there not there was some sort of almost kind of like almost like a gang rape with some of the one of the hockey teams 1 or 2 years ago. So look, it's serious, that the locker room is supposed to be kind of a sanctuary in the aspect of look, you should be able to get undressed and dressed, not get messed with, especially when you're talking about either football or hockey. I mean, look, and being serious here, look, as myself, you and Tom, Brad, not so much. I mean, look, we all know how sharp skates really are, man. We saw the goalie from Buffalo back in 1989 almost bleed out on the ice because he got cut with a skate. You're talking about really, and I mean, like I could sit here and say like you're talking about really sensitive parts of your body that are open with very sharp pieces of steel, and that really is something to be, and to not be able to like be in there and have like be able to take a shower, because man, like let's be honest, I mean Brad can speak on football equipment and we all can speak on football and hockey equipment, man. It's nasty. And there's a lot of bacteria and stuff like that. You really need to take a shower when you, when you're done with the game and whatnot. And, we always used to, and so, I don't have kids, but, there's got to be where this like stuff in the locker room where it's hazing to a point where it's vicious and it's mean. And, you can go back to the Breakfast Club where, the movie itself where they wrap the kid up in tape, I mean, like, come on, man. That's not fun hazing. That like hazing is meant to be kind of like fun, like, hey, we're all kind of part of the brotherhood, and like kind of it's goofy and stupid. Kind of goes back to the Youngblood situation where they shaved his nuts. They had the cups over their faces like they were masks and stuff like that.
Dr. Sutton, ding ding.
Yeah, that's right. So I mean, like like the thing about it is that it's so tough to say because. Like you're really dealing with like really a really serious issue and that type of thing where especially in Canada where they've had the sexual predators running rampant and stuff like that, where they've done nothing about that. What was it, Sheldon Kennedy, I think?
Yeah, that's what I was going with. Yeah, that story is
it's just terrible,
how he had to suppress it in order to, you know, make the NHL and everything like that because he didn't want to ruffle any feathers. Tom, real quick, your thoughts on the email so we can move
Guys
on?
all made good points. And the only thing, even if they're not talking about hazing, say you just don't want these kids to see each other's junk. What are you going to do when you got a 16-year-old phenom like Bedard and he's playing in junior hockey when he's playing with 20-year-olds? Are you going to make the 20-year-olds come dressed too? I mean, I just don't see how they're going to be able to enforce it. If you're going to enforce it, you need to enforce it all the way through. I mean, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. I think it's just something they rushed and threw together because of what's going to come out with the junior hockey team sooner or later here in the next month or two.
I think that was to put a cap on it. I think that's what's going to end up being the precursor to it. I think they're kind of trying to soften the blow before it comes out, but when it drops, it's going to be pretty big news, and we'll talk about it when we get there. So we'll put a pin in this email as a to be continued, because there's going to be more coming out about stuff like that. And I love the coaching questions, stuff like that, and the parent questions. They're great.
Neil, thanks for the email, man. BrockStreetBrewing.com. Check it out. Neil, thanks a lot for watching, man. Appreciate it.
So with that being said, let's kick it to the professor for Tom's Shady Picks. Tom, take it away.
Buy the shirt, don't be cheap.
Buy the shirt. All right. This past week, let's just review. I picked Sam Howell. They lost, but he had a great game fantasy-wise. He had 37 for 51, 388 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had 19 yards rushing. If you're going by the ESPN points standard, he got 30 points. So I think that's a good week if you going outside the top like 4 or 5 quarterbacks that you could pick every week and you know they're going to get 25 points a week. But going on this week, I'm going to pick on the Bears again, and I'm going to take Kirk Cousins against the Bears. The Bears have given up now, I believe, 12 touchdowns passing in 5 games. Cousins has averaged 2 touchdowns a game every game so far this season. So I think he's going to have a big game, and it's a must win for them. After they lost today, I think they have to win. They can't run the ball, so I think it's all on Cousins this coming week. I think he's going to have a big game.
So before we move on to our football picks for the week, I just want to mention epic Hall of Famer cast this week, Dick Butkus from the Chicago Bears. Just wanted to mention that. That way we can keep the podcast relevant. We try to keep everything up to date. Quick thoughts on Dick Butkus. Absolute man's man, badass. Was in a ton of stuff in Hollywood after his career was done. Totally different actor than he was when he was on the playing field, but one of the guys that kind of brought the middle linebacker to what is a sexy position in football. Brad, thoughts? Dick Butkus.
Yeah, the man was a legend, and I don't want to take anything away from that, but if I could be just a little insensitive, I don't see how he passes away in the same day the Bears finally get a win on primetime TV. And we're not going to say that the NFL is rigged. Come on, guys.
Now that sounds suspicious, Brad. Come on now.
They are literally sacrificing legendary players now to get wins. So if you've ever played for the Bears, please watch them dudes, wrap them up in bubble wrap, protect them at all costs.
Throw in the fact that it was the head coach of the Commanders is an ex-Bear too. So I mean,
they're knocking off legends to justify sucky teams having random wins throughout the year.
Love
that
it.
Sounds suspicious now, guys. Come on now.
Ed, real quick on your thoughts.
Real quick. All right, 30 seconds or less. Look, Butkus he was the man. I mean, he was truly, he epitomizes what a Chicago Bear is. Monsters of the Midway. He really just was a bad dude, man. And he instilled fear. And like there was a scene from one of the NFL films back when they used to show that stuff on ESPN, and he's sitting there and he's like gripping his hands and he's like grinding his teeth. Like if that doesn't epitomize what an inside linebacker is supposed to be, I don't know what does. Just a great football player, and he played football the way it's meant to be played, like man's game.
Tom, real quick before we get into picks.
Dude was a legend, and from what I've heard, I know somebody who's met him, and they said he's unbelievably nice off the field. And I mean, granted, he was older when they saw him, but they said he couldn't have been nicer.
Fantastic. I love to hear that. Most of the older players, when you meet them, it's like they're so happy to be noticed and relevant, and it goes right across the board. All the people that I've met with the kids, or even before the kids, it's usually the guys that aren't playing anymore. They're so happy to be remembered that that pretentiousness that they had when they played is all gone. And it
Milt
kills-
Schmidt, Boston Bruins.
There you go. Perfect example. Tom, let's get into these football picks.
All right.
We are on the clock.
All righty. Week 6, I believe, coming up. Game 1, Thursday night. The Kansas City Chiefs are at home against the Denver Broncos. Andy.
Steve Atwater and the Broncos, please.
Ed.
I'm gonna go with the Chefs.
All right. Brad.
These Thursday night matchups keep getting worse and worse. Going with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think it's Chiefs are going to smoke them. And from what I've seen, Javonte Williams is hurt, so they kind of have no running game right now.
Well, I mean, if you also saw the blow up on the sidelines between Peyton and Russell Wilson today too, that's
Yep.
something to check out too.
It's only a matter of time before they have to split. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Game 2, the Tennessee Titans are at home against the Baltimore Ravens. Andy.
Let's see. I'm gonna go Ravens, I guess.
All right. Ed.
I'm going with the Birds.
All right. Brad.
I like the Titans at home on this one. I think they're going
I'm
to turn
good.
it around.
I like you more and more. I'm going with the Titans as well. Game 3, the
Brown
Atlanta
noser.
Falcons.
Brown noser.
Yes. Atlanta Falcons are at home against the Washington Commanders. Andy.
Oh boy. Jeez. Falcons, I guess.
All right. Ed.
I'm going with the Falcons.
Brad.
Yeah, fuck the Commanders. I'm going with the Falcons.
That's a clean sweep.
Brad,
I'm
isn't that
going-
what you said during your military career most of the time?
Yeah, basically. I was a good guy. I was good. I behaved in the military.
I'm going with the Falcons as well. I think Washington's all done. Game 4, the Chicago Bears are at home against the Minnesota Vikings. Andy.
I guess because we're talking about Dick Butkus, I'll take the Bears.
All righty. Ed.
Skull all the way.
Brad.
I'm not talking about the chewing tobacco.
Yeah, Skull Vikes.
Yeah, I'm going with Minnesota too. I mean, Jefferson got hurt today, but I still think they have too much offense for Chicago.
Oh yeah.
All
The
right.
Bears suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them and the Patriots tank for hashtag.
Hey,
tank.
at the end of the game, at the end of this, we're gonna talk about that.
All right. All right. Next game, Cincinnati Bengals are at home against the Seattle Seahawks. Andy.
I will take Chris Collinsworth to block, please.
All righty. Ed.
I'm going with the Hawks, baby.
All right. Brad.
I heard Jamar Chase was asking for a trade, so I think there's a little turmoil brewing. And yeah, I'm gonna go with the Hawks, man. Hawk
Yeah,
man.
after he caught that 7-yard bomb today, he made me change his tune.
Yeah.
I'm going with Seattle as well. I think they're got a more complete team right now. All right. Next game, the Cleveland Browns are at home against the San Francisco 49ers. Andy.
I'm going to take Brad's second favorite team, the 49ers.
Ed.
Steve Young is not walking out that door.
All right. Brad.
I hate this team, but I love the local legend Jerry Rice, so I'll go with 49ers on this.
Yeah, I'm going with the 49ers as well. Just because I can't take Deshaun Watson. Next
Oh,
game.
don't you like massages? Come on now, Thomas.
Miami Dolphins are at home against the Carolina Panthers. Andy.
I don't know, the fish, I guess.
All right. Ed.
With Mark Clayton and Mark Duper, with the quarterback of Dan Marino.
Yeah, righty. Brad.
The Panthers got to be the worst team in football right now. Dolphins.
All right. Yeah, clean sweep going with the Dolphins as well. Next game, the Jacksonville Jaguars are at home against the Indianapolis Colts. Andy.
Tony Khan's favorite team. I'll take the Jaguars.
All right. Ed.
I'm going with the Jags. I mean, They don't have that formerly head coach of Ohio State anymore either.
Brad?
We've been picking the Jags every week. They finally got it going. So I'm gonna stick with them, Jacksonville.
This was the one week I didn't take them last week, and they
Oh.
won. I'm going back on the bandwagon, Jacksonville.
Not the professor anymore.
Yeah.
Next game, the Houston Texans are at home against the New Orleans Saints. Andy?
I don't know, Saints. I'm looking for friends, so I'll take the Saints.
All righty. Ed?
Well, I'm gonna have to say, let's go do a couple shots at down on Bourbon Street.
Brad?
I like CJ Stroud right now, man. I'm gonna roll Texans.
I actually originally took Houston, but I'm going to take the Saints. I've changed my mind, taking the Saints. Next game, the Las Vegas Raiders at home against the New England Patriots. Andy?
Man. Jeez. That's tough. Is
You
it
know
the
who
snow-
you're taking.
Is it the Snow Bowl? I'll take the Raiders, I guess.
All
And
right.
for the record, though, that was a fumble, by the way.
Ed?
After today's bullshit, I am going with the Raiders. I have switched my pick on my board.
All right. Brad?
You have a
Time to
board?
start Matty Ice. Play
Yeah,
Matt
it's on my-
Corral, Belichick. Y'all might win a game. Going with the Raiders.
I am going with the Raiders as well.
It's all off the noodle. It's like a bad rebound right off the noodle. Whatever's red, first thing that pops in the head, boom, take it.
Next game.
I mean, you sound like John Madden right there, man. Boom.
Boom.
Tough acting, tenacting. Let's
There you
go.
go.
Your feet
Next
smell.
game.
Boom.
the LA Rams at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Andy?
I will take Eric Dickerson and the Rams. Let's go.
Ed?
I'm going to go with the team that had one of the best tight ends ever, Kellen Winslow, by the way.
All right. Brad?
Ed is a huge fan of tight ends. I'm gonna pick the Rams.
Damn right.
After
I'm
that locker
going with
room,
the Rams
are
as
you
well.
kidding me? After
And
that
I'm not
locker
talking
room
the
talk?
menfolk ones either, man.
And seen
Next
a tight
game.
end in the locker room before.
New York Jets at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. Andy?
Eagles, I guess.
All right. Ed?
Well, to take a line from Jay and Silent Bomb, fly fat boy, fly.
Brad? What are you going to do, Brad?
I said it once and I'll say it again. Fuck the Eagles. I'm gonna pick the Jets.
Man, you're going with Fireman Ed? I can't believe that shit.
I'm going with them. The Jets aren't that bad. They have winning potential.
You know, I can't disagree with you because of how shitty the Patriots played today, by the way.
They have winning potential. And I think the Eagles are playing so well because they haven't played anybody good yet.
All right.
Sharpening the teeth, baby.
Next game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home against the Detroit Lions. Andy?
Give me the Lions.
Ed?
Barry Sanders is not walking out that door.
All righty. Brad?
Wayne Fonts is not the coach either.
Bro, the Lions have been playing incredible all season. Well, throw it back to Megatron, the greatest wide receiver that ever played. Let's go with the Lions.
I'm going with the Lions as well. They look good.
Yeah, they do.
Next game, Sunday night, the Buffalo Bills at home against the New York Giants. Andy?
Give me the Bills because I like buffalo wings.
All righty. Ed?
Well, you know, the Blackhawk caused the field goal to miss, but I'm going with Scott Norwood's Bills, okay?
All righty. Brad?
Why?
Andy,
Right.
bone in or bone out? That's all I want to ask you.
All right.
How do you like your wings?
Oh, you're talking about wings?
I'll go with Buffalo on that one.
I'm
I'm
going.
going with Buffalo as well, especially
The Tom
Kenny
Hayward
Jones
is.
got hurt today. So
Wait,
Yeah.
I'm going. Well, here's a great T-shirt. Bone in, thumb in.
Woo!
last
Oh.
game of the week, Monday night, the Los
Tom,
Angeles
don't think I didn't
Chargers.
see that there. The thumb came up. I saw it.
Los Angeles Chargers versus the Dallas Cowboys. Andy.
Chargers.
Alrighty.
Jesus, come on.
Ed?
You know, this goes against
Mhm.
everything I believe in, but gotta respect Jerry. The man put all his chips in the center of the table. I'm going Jerry.
Brad, I'm going to ask you, but I know where you're going.
It's prime time, baby. Of course we're gonna win that game.
Mhm.
I'm going with Dallas, but I think it's going to be a better game than people think. I think Dallas is coming off of this game tonight. They're going to be could be emotionally drained, but I still think they'll win.
Emotionally
Andy, that's
drained.
it.
It's pro sports. How can you be emotionally drained?
Yeah, it's about money and greed.
When
Money.
are the Cowboys going to start sacrificing legends to get some wins? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
We need a
man.
rally cry. That only happens when somebody important dies.
It's kind of sad, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who's
play
going to
some hockey, eh?
sacrifice? Danny White?
Ooh, ooh.
Damn,
Jerry
Thomas.
Jones. Jerry
Tom, you're
Jones.
fucking vicious tonight, bro.
Yeah,
Hell,
Tom.
Who pissed up your Cheerios, man?
Tom's
the hell,
gonna,
man?
dude, this is Tom out of character.
Damn.
It's a heel turn.
Yeah, he's
Damn.
ready.
Uh-oh, shit. This is like Hogan and Macho Man NWO style with Tom. Jeez
Yeah.
Louise.
We're gonna
I'm
give
in
him
it
a
for money, maybe. I'll go either way. In it for money.
Oh, man.
Whatever's good for business.
Tom's in the barber shop right now with Marty Jannetty.
There you go.
Yup,
In the barber
yup.
shop. Shop.
So Tom, you want to do the album of the week? We'll do the lead in, and then it'll be
Alrighty.
exclusive content for our YouTube people.
All right, this is just for you YouTubers. This week's record of the week is brought to you by Purchase Street Records, which is located at 53 Pope's Island, Unit 2, New Bedford, Mass, or online at purchasestreetrecords.com or on their Facebook page. Purchase Street Records, Southern New England's largest independent record store. Enjoy.
So let's we got about 6 minutes left. Let's do a quick shout outs, and I want to start off by saying it's 2 tough weeks in a row with close friends that I've had that have lost a pet in their family. The son of the Phantom that's been on the podcast with us, and his dad, they lost their dog Storm this week. Suddenly after 14 years, the family pet, and we just want to put it out there that in the podcast universe, and that we're thinking of you. And I know me and Tom talked about it before we went on the air, and we wanted to mention it. And Tom, do you want to just piggyback on that real quick?
Absolutely, man. The thoughts go out to all the whole family, man. It's not easy to lose a pet. So I'm thinking you guys.
Yep. Brad, got anything this week?
Nah, man, heart goes out to y'all. Losing a dog is 100% the absolute worst. So, or any pet for that matter. So, thinking about y'all. Salute. I'll drink one for you.
Yeah, before I kick that, I just want to let everybody know, everybody that usually comes on our podcast that's in our circle, they're always big pet people. So, you're not going to see too many people that we're friendly with that aren't pet orientated people. So I just want to throw that out there. If you are a pet owner and stuff like that, and you're going through that kind of thing, we feel for you. It's not the best advice I ever got was, it's a lifetime of good memories for 1 or 2 bad days when they leave you. So, it's not like, they have you for their entire life. Their entire life is spent with you. You might have multiple pets through your life, but their whole life is spent, with you and in the family or whatever part of your life you've had a pet. Their whole existence is usually spent with you. So, they're the one that, is, going through tough stuff. So Ed, got anything?
Yeah, I just want to touch on that real quick. I mean, they are members of the family, so Phantom and the fam, we are thinking about you guys, and they are part of the family. All right, on to some business here. Okay, all right, all of us New England fans, what was that train wreck today? All right, thing about that is I've never seen piss poor body language that I've ever seen out of a quarterback in my whole entire life. That includes coaching football when I was in college, seeing it live, everything like that. What a terrible quarterback. I'm kicking it back to you guys. He's got to go. Belichick needs to stay. They need a
Hashtag
GM.
tank for Caleb.
Mac
There you
Jones
go,
has a reputation of not being a good teammate. This
He's a
is nothing
shitty
new.
teammate.
Have you seen all the dirty stuff he does in between plays? Always trying to nut check dudes and stir shit up with the other team. He's not a good guy.
No. He's kind of a jerk.
They
and
need
the
to
thing
start
about it
Matty
is-
Ice. Put in Matt Corral. Now's the time.
Hey, guess what? Tom Brady is not walking through that door. So guess what? It ain't happening. So bottom line is that he's got to go. Offense looked horrible today. I've never seen I have never seen a football team since back to the mid 80s. This is like either pre-Grogan or post-Grogan era, like how terrible they looked on offense. It's disgusting. BB's still the greatest coach known to mankind. Robert Kraft still best owner in football next to Jerry. So, and Robert Kraft is still number one to Jerry, but I gotta give my props to Jerry.
So I think we got like 2 minutes left. We're gonna close it out. Look at new swag. We
More
have
swag.
new
New swag.
swag.
I love
we
it.
got stocking hats. We got
Let's
other
go.
stuff. We're growing a little bit every week.
Hats for bats. You gotta keep
Wait,
bats
wait.
warm.
We're working on some stuff. I was just talking with Ed. There's possibly in the works for a female guest, maybe a regular, working on it. Big wrestling fan, big hockey fan, big sports fan. I believe big metalhead. Don't want to mention any names, but we're working on that too. I got Ed gonna do a deep dive, and we're gonna get to the bottom of this. So, fellas, you ready to close it out for another week? Episode
Yes, sir.
34. You gotta put it in the
34.
books. All right. So for these 3 bananas,
Go
I am-
Niners.
I am the top. The top banana is saying later on to everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Release
Go
Mac
Cowboys.
Jones.
Later.